Hey Thomas, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Lots and lots going on over the weekend and lots of changes for you. I can imagine it was pretty busy. Can you update us on the kind of conditions of those who've left?
The conditions?
Yeah, their fitness and any injury problems of the players that have gone.
Well, I think I thought you have the list already, like from the guys who left with injuries.
It was how bad they are, really, I suppose.
There is nothing more to add from me as a coach. I'm not a medical expert, but we had an assessment after the match, and none of them were able to stay and get any minutes, so we released them, of course.
Yeah, it was just obviously Noni Madueke. Look, we saw him leaving a knee brace. It looked particularly bad for him.
Yeah.
Declan Rice and Saka joined up, but
had a medical assessment. Wanted desperately to play, to just get the narrative straight. Wanted desperately to be involved, but it made just no sense to take this risk. If it would have been maybe a last game of the season, we would have kept them and tried everything, but in this moment of the season, it did not make sense. The risk for making it worse was just way too big. They were both in discomfort, clearly in discomfort, when we did the medical assessment, so it made absolutely no sense that they stay. Adam Wharton had a little injury, like just also more discomfort than a big injury, but he will out. Everyone will be out for some quite some days, but not dramatically.
Noni, that looked particularly bad with his...
Yeah, and the assessment was then with a picture slightly better than his feeling, but he will be out for some days, I guess.
Thank you for that. Are you closer or further away from knowing what you'd like to do if Harry Kane's not available?
Good question. You see in my answer already that I'm maybe not close. Not close. I have some ideas, but I will not make them public. I'm happy that Harry is in camp and back in camp, our skipper and captain and goal scorer, and he will lead the team tomorrow on the pitch. So this is where we focus on. We have some options.
Good man.
Sammy Mokbel here. Hi, Thomas. In terms of the withdrawals, are you realistic? Do you take a realistic view in that there, at this stage of the season, there are always going to be a number of withdrawals given the level of fatigue? But are you disappointed with the number of pullouts this time?
Disappointed but not disappointed with the players, but just disappointed with the fact. Of course, we want to have everyone in good spirits and in health, but it's just, like you said, it's just the reality of the season. It's the reality of end of March. It's a reality of having players in European matches involved and in more than just one competition, with all the cups going on. So that's just the reality of it. You are well aware that we gave the players some time to rest, players who had 3,500, 4,000 minutes already. We have players in camp and gave players a rest who played already more minutes than the complete last season. So there are some red flags and there's some concern. I think the players needed and deserved the mental rest from mental break from football, and we could see it, like we could see the energy with which they came back into camp, and to reconnect now in a new environment, I think helps them a lot to go then back also to club and perform. We want them to play good for their clubs. We want them to perform in their clubs. But also, of course, the reality as well is that it's our last camp before we leave to America. So we want also our principles, we want to reconnect to our principles. We want the group to reconnect. So yeah, it's disappointing, but I'm not upset with the players. I'm not angry with the players. I got the feeling that everyone was desperate to come. Some of the injured players even stayed to do their treatment here, start their treatment here. That just shows me they want to be around the group. No one left straight away. Everyone stayed, had another dinner, had another night, had another breakfast, because it's a good spirit, and that's how it should be. Everyone was more affected to leave than being able to stay. But as you said, it's a reality. We will have a strong team tomorrow. We made the right decision. We have a full squad to select from. Today everyone is in training, 21, 22 outfield players, so we have full choice, and we have some fresh legs back, so excited for tomorrow.
And can I ask you a question specifically about John Stones, one of the withdrawals?
Yeah.
Would in probably unusual circumstances be in your team starting, I presume. But given the difficulties he's had this season with injuries and now potentially playing minimally between now and the end of the season, how do you view that situation with regards to picking
It's
your
not
squad?
ideal. It's not ideal for John and not for us, of course. And John was gutted that he had this minor incident again, which was not a big injury, but just like minor. And giving the history, we had to be careful. It did make no sense to push him through and try stuff to make things even worse. He has a lot of credit with me in the bank still. He is a key player for us as a starter or as a substitute, as a part of the team because of his quality first of all, but also his mentality and the personality and how he is as a character. He's a big part in my plans still, but like everyone, he has to be fit. Once we make the team selection, he has to be fit, and there is no big exception for that. But let's wait how it plays out. I think he will have some days rest, be then on the pitch. He felt very good. I saw him very strong in the FA Cup, playing for Man City in Newcastle. Very complicated match, and he did so well. So I think he can get away with not too many minutes, but some minutes, and being competitive would be of course nice. And then, like always, we take a late decision.
Hi, Thomas. What was your first thought when this friendly was confirmed?
My first thought?
Yeah.
Oh, I liked it a lot. I like the Japanese team. I like the Japanese culture, and it's an honor to play against the national team of Japan. When do you have the chance to face opponents like this? So I think we have two very interesting, two very different opponents to play against, two very different mentalities, two very different styles of play. And we were excited about it to have the possibility. But once you start looking deeply and you start looking into the quality and the way Japan plays, I think they have one loss in 17 matches. Very, very good run of results. They're well drilled. And you see all the quality, then you know that you need to be well prepared. And we need to be ourselves on our top performance to be able to win.
You coached two Japanese players, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then you saw quite a few Japanese players, particularly Bundesliga. So, what's your general opinion about Japanese players?
I can only give you the opinion of my two players, Shinji Okazaki and Shinji Kagawa. It was a pleasure to have them in the team. They were first of all full of quality. Amazing, talented players, and then they were always ready to do everything for the team. They were very respectful, very polite, hardworking, very humble. It was amazing to have them in the team.
So that's what you expect tomorrow from Japan?
Tomorrow I expect a well-drilled, a well-trained team. They play in a back five, two sixes, three strikers. Very mobile, very fluid. They love a switch of play. They love to have ball possession. I played myself many times this formation, so you have a lot of players, including the goalkeeper and the deep end of the pitch. So this can give you control. It's quite hard to press. There are ways to press, but we need to be intelligent and we need to be hardworking and fully committed into our press if we want to steal the ball, if we want to have high ball recoveries. If we don't get it right, there's always a chance to be punished because you have very mobile players, very fast players, good on the ball, and of course, giving the formation that Japan plays, there's always a chance to suffer against the switch of play. So we need to be smart and fully committed. But I think we're on our way to be well prepared. We have one more training session, and it will be an interesting game tomorrow.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
I'm from Japanese broadcaster NHK. I'm sure you've watched the Japan's game against Scotland.
Yeah.
And what did you take away from the game? And what do you think worked for Japan, what the strengths was, and also maybe like if you found any weakness there?
If I found some, we always try to find solutions for us. That is basically the purpose why we watch games. We watch, of course, the patterns and the strengths of our opponent, and then we try to flip it around and have the emphasis on our strengths and where we think we can hurt them. And this is always the same. I think I explained the way that Japan plays already. There's nothing to add. The game against Scotland, I think there will be a lot of changes. I think there will be 7, 8, maybe even more changes in the starting lineup. So we watched several matches. We watched them against Mexico. We watched them against Paraguay. We watched them against Brazil. I think we are well prepared. We see the same patterns over and over again. If you watch the goal against Scotland, you see a well-drilled goal with a switch of play from wing-back to wing-back through both number 10s. This is basically the key in their game, I would say. And we need to be aware of it. We need to be aware of the details, which side of the player we attack. And like I said, we need to be fully committed. Which we are, and have some fresh legs, and it's a good game.
And as we have like quite a few familiar faces who play for like a Premier League, obviously that's knowing the style of like English players, and they know about their players as well. So Kaoru Mitoma from Brighton in particular, how do you rate his quality? He might start, I don't know, but what would you think?
I think he will start. No, I think he will start.
How would you stop him?
I think he will start on the number 10 position. It's difficult to stop him. It's always a team effort. First of all, is maybe the best way is to stop the supply into him, because he loves to turn. He loves to turn in both directions. He's strong on the dribbling. He's strong in acceleration. It's a very, very good player. He shows it every 3 days for Brighton. So we will be aware of him. But like I said, it's a team effort. It matters about the details, it matters that we stop the supply. It matters that we get our press right and attack from and push them into the pressure where we want to have the pressure. But of course, there are quality players on the pitch.
If you can pass the microphone back, and we'll go Henry next. Henry.
Hello, Tuchel. My name is Yoichi from Japan. You talk about Japanese culture. So, what kind of Japanese culture do you like?
Well, I had the chance to visit your country, I think twice, and for football, and the level of the how we were like welcomed, and the level of hospitality, the level of respect was always outstanding. It is the way of living, the way you're like the Japanese way into the way of living, into coffee shops, into fashion is just fascinating to see, and it's just throughout the culture, which is very, very interesting, and of course very different from our culture, but it was always a pleasure to spend time in your country and to be welcomed and to dive in these kind of new cultures. I think you see it in the way that I saw it in the way that the players were with me, and they were in the team. The players that I trained, like I said, was very respectful, and they were the best teammates you can wish for. Always ready to train, always ready to play, always ready to adapt and to do what's necessary for the team. Very respectful, very humble, and that's basically it.
You talk about humbleness, but in Japan, we declare to win the World Cup this time.
Yeah. Officially. Good.
What do you think about that?
Good. I mean, it's important to dream. I think it's important to dream, and it's important. I'm not sure if it's important to declare your dreams, but if you do that, fair enough, because everyone who's qualified has a chance to win it, of course. It's important to dream. It's allowed to dream, and I think it's allowed to have the question hanging around, like what if? Is it possible? Do we maybe make the unthinkable into a reality? So fair enough. I think you have a strong team, well-coached team with good players. So the question is why not? And the same question for us.
Thomas, hi. You're obviously totally focused on England, but when you look or you hear some of the other results, like France's A team beating Brazil, France's B team beating Colombia, Spain beating Serbia in the recent days, where are England compared to those teams?
I don't know because you cannot compare. I mean, you saw our lineup and you saw our opponent, and it's just results. It's just March. We are happy with the way we did our camp until now. I like the energy and I like the quality of the camp. I like the way we played. I know it was maybe not the nicest watch on TV or in the stadium as a spectator, but I know against whom we played, against a well-coached and maybe best possible lineup of Uruguay with a lot of new players, a lot of new guys, even in camp, a lot of new guys on the pitch. And I think we got a lot of things right. Not throughout the 90 minutes, but in most of the phases, we got the things right that we wanted to get right. We need to have these kind of tests now to get to know each other better. And then we have still time. It's coming fast, but we have still time to be prepared. And if you turn it around, do you think Brazil will not be prepared in May or June? I think they will be prepared. And once you arrive in June in the US, you don't think anymore what you did in March. You play knockout football, and then when it matters, and we will be ready.
We tend to have mood swings with the national team. They're either up there or down there, in the space of a half, let alone a game. But when you look at the squad training today, and obviously you're missing some players, you have total belief in the quality that England have some exceptional players. Yeah,
I have total belief. And I have total belief that if we get the selection right and we arrive with a team, this is what I feel now again in camp, that we're taking steps and steps and steps. Player want to be part of it. Player want to stay in camp. Player want to stay in camp even with the outlook that they don't play. They're desperate to come. They're enjoying it, and I see all that, and I think this is crucial that we arrive with this kind of spirit in the US. I strongly believe in the players, and the question will be why not. I think everything is possible, but we have to make it possible. And we see now how many injured players. It happened, I think, to Rafinha for Brazil. Like everyone is almost affected, and it is a slight worry. So. This is the main focus to keep our fingers crossed that we have the full selection available.
Okay, we'll finish it there. We'll have Elliot Anderson for you shortly. Thanks, guys.
Good.
Thank you.